Hey, welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. It is Wednesday evening, about 10:50 here in Central Ohio. I'm going to do a quick video in response to a post on the Facebook R statistical software group that had to do with how to rename columns in R. I'm going to be showing you two methods this evening. I'm going to show you what the base R, the basic method of doing it. Then I'm going to show you how to do the rename function, which is part of the dplyr / tidyverse package. So as you can see up here, I loaded the dplyr package, first of all. Now the first method in base R is I'm selecting three columns here out of the global. As you can see here, the global data frame contains 68 variables. A variable is a column. When you think variable, think columns of a table. So I just took three columns out. So the question might be, well, gee, if you had to rename half of those columns, every other one or something like that, what would be the fastest way to do it? Well, there's two methods to do it. This is the base R method. This is a data frame name. This is just a concatenated list of column names inside of quotes. Okay. See, I'm going to change location ID, date, and VI to red, blue, and green. Then I want to change the third column, the green column, to cat. Okay. So we come up here like this. And we run these two commands there then. Now you can see it's red, blue, cat. But suppose you could suppose you wanted to do the first and third one. We could probably do something like this maybe. I'm guessing at this, but we'll see what happens. Also, I don't know if this will work, but I'm sure there's a way to do more than one column. So let's see if this works. We're going to change fish and dog. Okay, so that didn't necessarily work, so that's okay. But let's say we did want to change only half the columns or parts of the columns. Okay, let's just come back up here and rename our data frame again. There we go. So now instead we got 68 variables. We want to name the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth one, or the 3, 6, third, and 3, 6, 9 one. But no, you want to name a dozen or so like that variables out of this whole thing here. Well, there's dplyr. Okay. What dplyr allows us first of all to pipe variables to use the pipe command. So we're taking the A, we're piping it in, but the function we want is a rename function. And the formatted rename function is new name, old name, okay? So we're going to take the A, we're going to pipe it into rename function. Then we're going to pipe that into the ggplot function. You see the ggplot? So I'm actually calling the ggplot function from the ggplot library. And that's what these two colons mean. It means use the ggplot function from this library. We could even do up here, we could also dplyr same thing. And that way we wouldn't have to actually call a library, all right? That's another way to do that. But since I've already called the library, I'll run with it, okay? So we're going to change location ID to fish and date to dog. And then we're going to, we're only changing two of the names, all right? We're only changing the first and second column names. And that what dplyr allows us to do, it allows us to take the output from this line here and send it directly into a plot command, okay? So that's what this says here. So let's see if we can do a plot of this function here. And there it is. It's not a particularly exciting function, but you get the point. Okay? All right. So there are two methods to renaming columns, the base-r method and the tidyverse method. Using the base-r uses call names, tidyverse uses rename. Uh, and I think to a certain extent, it's a matter of personal preference which one you do, which one you use. If I was say reading if I was doing a CV, if I was reading a read CSV function up here, okay, I would generally use the call number. I would generally use the call function or the name function directly right up here. Okay, so I would read the file, then I would change the name of the columns, just to sort of keep everything in the same location. All right. But if you're going to be pipe, if you want to be, if you're going to send this, if you're going to use this rename function as part of a pipe series of commands like I use here, then rename's probably better, and it may actually be better to name multiple. And the other advantage is it's a lot because you name the columns you want to rename. You can select the ones you want to do. You don't have to be in a sequential order. But anyway, that kind of takes care of this little. But there was one other thing I forgot to do. Wonder what you can do is, let's say we only want to rename the third column. Okay, what you do is you would take instead of square brackets. So apparently this is like this is the column number 3. Then you would simply rename this orange. Let's see if this works. So now our third column is named orange. Okay, but now we got to change this to orange, right? So two methods of renaming columns, two methods of renaming select columns, and one way to pipe it into another tidyverse command. In this case, we're taking the output again, piping it through a tidyverse command. So let's see if this works a second time. And there it is again. Okay, so hopefully this rename video will help you in the future. As always, leave comments, questions below, and we'll catch you on the next report.